Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Simply Incredible podcast. Just a couple minutes late tonight. No worries. We are back, kind of live. Hi, Leia over there. I don't know what he's doing. He's digging a hole or something. I don't know. It's kind of.
I just realized something. Never mind. Hello, everyone.
That's creepy. Okay. Billy. Billy is here for display only.
I was working on a cardboard cutout, but unfortunately I had to stand in for it today. So here I am.
I'm still confused what Ale is doing over there.
No, because you just said if we got on anything, and I thought of one book that I got it today, but I went to the shop today and I got all of this. And I was like, I totally forgot. I forgot I got all this.
That looks like it's greater than one. All right.
Exactly. So. It's like I'm not going to show all that, but I just
hold on. Let me see if Dennis wants to join us. Let me hit that button. Let me hit that button. Let me hit that button. You can continue talking while I'm hitting all these buttons.
Yeah. So he says, anyway, right?
What do you have? Like a control room in there? How many buttons you got?
I do.
How are you guys doing this week? How was your week?
I'll tell you what. I work in transportation. I'm a supervisor, and with the weather we got this week, this week has been a lot less than entertaining. But we got everybody home safe, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
There you go.
Right. So there we go, and. Of course, we had some big comic news this week, especially pertaining to some of our topics of discussion going on today.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Moon Knight is going to be coming out hot and heavy. Unfortunately, there's already been a tragedy on the set. So is it me or is Moon Knight like, can we officially call the Moon Knight character cursed? It can't have a series that lasts longer than X amount of issues. They're on volume 7 or 8 right now. In their Moon Knight series. It's a beloved character, but it seems like nothing ever goes right.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. The trailers look fantastic. But unfortunately, they have already had one of these stars of the show made an untimely demise in a skiing accident.
Yeah.
So hearts out to his family and anybody that knew the gentleman. But I hope that he will live on, with his portrayal in the new series.
Was that character already made public that character was going to be in the series Midnight Man?
As far as
the character,
I'm sorry.
I think we talked over each other a little bit. What'd you say, Daryl?
I said, as far as I understand, it is already in things.
Okay, so it was known that he was going to appear and all that. Right.
Yeah. Every article I read on him was he was one of the stars of the show.
Okay.
So, I doubt seriously that give anybody star billing that hadn't earned it. But I'll tell you, I look more forward to show announcements than I do movie announcements right now, which leads us into Daryl. Take it away.
What did you get? Oh, before we get into that, I go into show and tell first. And then we're going to flow into the other stuff, which is I'm doing it totally backwards.
Well, okay. What you got going on, Helena? What'd you get to this week?
All right. I went to my shop. I only go to my shop maybe once every 3 weeks, once a month. So I got a good stack. I'm not going to go through it. But probably what I got, mainly it's just my pull, right? Not too big. But I did pick up these two. I saw this one. He had it. It's just a really freaking pretty cool cover of Punisher.
I think
it's a spec.
Let's hit that right there.
So I picked it up. I think it was like $6, $7, something like that. So I went with that. And then this one I had it. Okay, go back up.
There you go.
There you go. Look, dude, you're getting good at this.
Well, the thing of it is, I hit another button that shows the exact same thing, except us being on the other side, and the button didn't work. But,
so my question is are we already featuring the new Punisher logo and on the costume of the character?
I thought it was going to be like a mini run that it was starting on, but I could be wrong on that.
I don't think it's
because I I know one of the Timeless covers that I saw, the second print for Timeless #1 has the Punisher with his new logo on the cover. I was perusing eBay because somebody's gonna have to clear this up for me too, but I'll bring that up in just a few minutes. Well, I mean, you're talking new comics. Is the new Timeless series supposed to introduce Miracle Man? You know, that fantastic hyper-violent creation into the Marvel universe proper. You know, a friend of mine texted me earlier saying, "Look, find me these issues. I hear the Miracle Man's coming." And I'm seeing bits and pieces of rumor, but has anybody heard anything? Double stating that. I'm not quite in the new.
I have not, but I have seen people showing Miracle Man books.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Miracle Man.
So maybe that's why they've been showing it, because maybe they've heard something, or it's just the talk is out there that he's coming.
I know there's a lot of buzz, and I'm hearing #1, is hinting towards it strongly, and I just need to know if this is something I need to check up on. So if anybody knows, anybody watching this, please in the comments, because just confirm if you can confirm or deny if that is happening during Timeless. Because I know a couple
people will confirm this is happening.
Oh, we got a Dennis here.
Hello.
He's doing his best job of the HUD impression right now. It looks like
he's creeping me out a little bit here. Can you hear us, Dennis?
I don't think you can hear.
There it is.
Am I frozen?
No.
There you go.
We hear you. We see you.
I'm frozen on the television.
Well, maybe it's just for a second. I don't know.
There we go. There's about a 2-second delay. Okay.
But
there's about a 2-second delay. So now I've got to, maybe I need to rotate it.
Yeah. No technical difficulties here.
Yeah, give me I got about 3 people messaging me, and I've got some technical difficulties because I've not used StreamYard but one other time. So maybe you punt me to the background for just a minute until I get all this fixed.
I like the sound of that.
Just a good old punt.
Thank you, Kingdom Comics. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Kingdom. What's up, Tito?
So anyway, I got this.
We're gonna try this again. Let's see if it. Hey!
I got this, which I just thought it was a badass cover, so I picked that up. He was holding this for me for a few weeks because I couldn't pass it up. It's the third print for Edge of Spider-Verse. I'm thinking it's probably a 9.6. It's got a little bit of rub around the staple in the back, but it was still worth it, man. So couldn't pass that up. And I got this in the mail. It's David Yakamara, I think that's his name. Another Department of Truth. I forget what number this is, but
that looks so close to a Negative Space cover. That is a cool cover.
It's a freaking cool cover. So I think
that's a great cover, and I hate the Negative Space ones. That's why I'm glad this is not Negative Space, because all you would see is shoulders and some boobies.
That'll be about it, right? But that's it. That's what I picked up. Plus, my regular pool, it has Department of Truth and.
Why is Dennis not showing up? That's so weird.
Slow week.
Let's see, Dennis. It now looks like an empty block, but yet I can see him clear as day down below.
No telling.
Yeah.
Well, mine today is going to be very simple. Like I say, I brought along a book. There's a series announced that was that is causing great amount of excitement. So I'm just going to show a little bit of fire right now. Let's hear it for Mr. Werewolf by Night himself.
Hey,
sweet.
There you go.
So, he brought out the new fire. I'm bringing out some of the old fire.
Very nice. You just got that? You just picked it up?
No, I've had this. I decided to pull it out and dust it off and enjoy it instead of having it in a box. And I figured I would let some other people take a look at it themselves, But
nice.
Yeah, that's
great
one of my copies there.
Great,
fantastic book. Well, I love the bronze horror stuff anyway.
Yeah.
I've got what I call the Universal Monsters Marvel collection. I tried to get all the first appearances of anybody that was a universal staple. You know, The Living Mummy, The Werewolf by Night, The Tomb of Dracula. I've got all of those appearances. You know, that makes me extremely happy inside.
Very underrated. It's starting to get a lot of love now, those books.
And I think just now, kind of like I remember being in high school when like Silver Age, everybody's looking at it like, oh, well, it's getting older. And, you know, it's like now it's dawning on me like the first appearance of Deadpool is 30 years old, you know, and of course to me, because I bought it off a rack, it feels like it was just yesterday. And it just almost, I can't believe it's that old. But now you're looking at Bronze Age stuff. This was the Golden Age stuff to me when I was like in high school and really getting the comic collecting fire. And that was the stuff that you never see. And, you know, there is plenty still out there, you know, proportionally speaking to Golden Age, but, you know, the age is there, you know, paper ages. And if you can get it, you better get it and enjoy it while you can. Yeah,
definitely, man. I'm in total agreement with you. It's the sweet spot right now, you know, get the Bronze Age is, it's like you said, it's going on 50 years, man. It's the time to get it before, because it's not going to be at this. The price is already creeping up, so it's the right time, definitely. It's the time before it's going to be too late, right?
That's right. If you don't get it, if you don't start picking it up now, it will disappear into short and long boxes forever. You know, and at least people start passing it around. And if you even the filler issues, you know, the artwork, the plot style, the word balloons, all of that. I mean, look at this, the cover. You know, use a different voice and just read the words on the cover to yourself. If you're into anything at all, it does bring this like certain level of joy just seeing stuff like that. And that's not knocking anything new, but I mean, there is a certain level of charm to, you know, some people, they're glad they're gone. I will forever say, please let my characters speak on the cover. You know, and if you really want to have fun, get an old romance book and read that cheesy dialogue out. You know, switch the voices up, you know, and it's actually pretty fun, you know. And I've actually started discovering Westerns, you know. You look at like some of the Kirby stuff and some of the Kane stuff and a lot of this Western stuff, the Marvel Westerns. That's some really cool stuff. So, you know, that's the beauty. If you work backwards, man, you're always discovering something new.
Definitely.
Okay, when you guys read books, I'm assuming you're like me. In your head, there are voices.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like when I'm reading Batman, it depends on what era Batman I'm reading, depends on which voice is in my head. When I'm reading Harley, it's always that original Harley from Batman the Animated Series. Always.
Oh, that kind of whiny, nasally.
Yeah. Because that's what I started with, and that is my Harley Quinn.
Nice.
I read a Phil Hartman, you know, I want to throw her on the ground and pee on her chest, yelling poop shoot. Good old Saturday Night Live.
I feel bad. You guys got something. I didn't get anything this week. So,
It doesn't have to be anything you got this week. Find something you love that might be sitting right beside you, man. Share your love of whatever you have. I didn't make it this week, but like I say,
I still have this set of sirens right here.
Nice.
Like George Perez said. It took like 2.5 years for the whole set to completely come out. So
well, there you go.
That's from what, 2016-ish? Something like that. So there's that set.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I just sent some books off to CGC, so I got that going for me.
Nice.
Well, good luck. You'll see those in about 1.5 years, 2 years.
Hey, I'm in no rush. They'll be here. I mean, my theory is if I die before they show up,
That wasn't a bad series, man. Rose. I got the first 5 of those. That was fun. Nice covers.
Loopy Dave cover. I don't know who Loopy Dave is. I've never seen Loopy Dave anywhere that I know of, but awesome stuff.
Hey, let me just real quick. Kingdom, sorry, that comment that he put about 30, that was crazy, bro. I was on Gotham Comics on Instagram, and I was doing a battle with this guy called Triple C, who has amazing books. and it was just a lot of fun, man. Thanks for watching Kingdom. It was a lot of fun. What's up, Great Legend?
Boy, Kurt. Legend is in the house. Arlene, yes, Arlene Sorkin. Yeah. Tara Strong. There are times I do, I should not have said I never do, but there are times I do hear a little Tara from the Batman, the Arkham games. So, yeah.
Yeah, my Batman voice goes back to the
Kevin Conroy.
the Super Friends cartoon.
Oh my God, dude, that is so good.
So that, it's funny how like certain things kind of stick to you and stick with you. It's just like Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man and his amazing friends to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, like reading the X-Men and everything. You've got your own little distinct voices, and I've never read Wolverine in like Hugh Jackman styling. But like Iceman, for some reason, it's always sounded like Iceman sounded on Spider-Man and his amazing friends. So, that's why, stuff coming out it's important, because I've gotten my molded clay, and people, that are just now getting introduced to it. Maybe Captain America sounds like Chris Evans to them, but
exactly.
To me, it's the Captain America sound is more similar to the sound he had in the Avengers video game. Where he came out and he did a little point thing. So it's that really kind of clean sound. But I think it's interesting. Guys, again, make comments on if you've got a certain voice that sticks to a certain character.
For me, it's the ones I heard like for me, Batman's Adam West. That's who I hear. I hear Cesar Romero when it's the Joker. That's my Joker. For me, the Riddler, the guy that played the Riddler, I think the guy's name was Gershwin or something like that.
Yes.
That's my favorite
Frank
Riddler. You said the Super Friends. To me, it's the 66 Spider-Man. And the music, that trippy music that they were playing, it's like, dude, I go on YouTube and I look for the music from the 66 because it was so trippy. And the Super Friends, like you said, man, that intro music when they introduced the Legion of Doom, when it starts, oh my, dude, that's great stuff. Even still, man.
The cool thing about that is that cartoon, it led me to like search down, and of course I don't have anything to show right now, but all of those costumes from that era, that all of these people, like the Lex Luthor style costume that he wore, and of course the Neil Adams Joker, like that look started, to show up in those 80s cartoons and everything. And I tell you, it's pretty cool when you can find stuff and just kind of search it out and find its comics equivalent. Like this, like you take the toy line, the Supermobile. Why did Superman get a Supermobile? But I've got the first appearance of the Supermobile, and every time I pull that comic out, it makes me smile. Every time I look at it, here he is flying, and I think he's fighting against what is it, Amazo or Amazo? But I've always said Amazo, and it's like the Supermobile swooping down on the cover, and it's like it makes as much sense as Spider-Man's dune buggy.
Exactly, right?
Why does Spider-Man need a dune buggy? But here it is. Obviously, it's to sell toys because that was the way to do things. But I tell you, it's some cool stuff, man. When
super cool,
like finding the little things like that. The Supermobile cover. Google it. First appearance of the Supermobile, and I guarantee if you don't look at that cover, if you like the Bronze Age, if you don't just absolutely love what you see and want to find it, and it's cheap. It's like $5, $10, $15 tops. But it's such a cool book to own. It really is.
Does anyone hear Wonder Woman and it's not Linda Carter?
Nah, Wonder Woman is Linda Carter.
It's Linda Carter.
It's Linda Carter. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yay!
Yay!
I was trying to get. I'm stuck in. What is this? Profile?
Yeah.
Versus picture mode or whatever the F-bomb is called. So I was trying to get it to rotate and it won't rotate.
That's weird.
Nice.
Oh, good. You're fine.
Yeah. We can see you. We can hear you. It's good. Right now we're talking superhero characters, like animated. Or I mean, when you're reading a book that when you're reading them, you're hearing a certain person's voice.
Yep.
Because I was like Linda Carter. Billy, when you said Captain America, I was like, please say it's not going to be like the 1979, 1980 movie Captain America voice.
No. I've got a very, like I say, the video game would come closest to what's in my mind. You know, it's like this really kind of clean, you know, enunciated, you know, we're going to go fight this crowd right now, guys, type thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's my Captain America voice.
Nice. Dennis, any characters for you like that?
I think that what's his name, Chris Evans has taken that role.
I knew somebody was going to say that.
Yeah.
Dude, man, I think that he has been around long. I mean, how long was Linda Evans Wonder Woman?
Linda Carter.
I mean, Linda Carter. Shit.
That is sacrilege.
She was only like 4 seasons, I think. Either three seasons or 4
Yeah,
seasons.
3 or 4 seasons, I believe. Yeah. You're right.
So you had 3 or 4 seasons. We'll say 5, right? Let's get crazy. Let's say 5.
Let's get nutty.
Right?
Want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
How long has Chris had Captain America?
Like 5 movies.
11 years.
Hours. I mean, 10 total hours.
11 years of it, man. That guy's it.
Yeah.
You know?
I can see that, though. I can see that.
It is what it is.
Can I tell you?
I mean, we're old and we can appreciate Linda. We can appreciate Lou Ferrigno. We can appreciate some of the older guys only because we were young when we watched that. But we're not so old that we can't take the connection from these new characters. You know, how many people think that what's his name is Batman going to be Batman Beyond? It's always going to be Batman.
I don't know, but Mighty Nick, Ben Affleck's Daredevil in my head. Look, okay, cool. You know, Daredevil wasn't a horrible movie. They just tried to cram too much into it. Gosh, I don't know if I guess Charlie Cox to me is the definitive Daredevil.
I think so now. That's right. What did it take for him? 3 seasons, right?
I think that style of voice that he speaks in, that kind of like that kind of resonates with me. But okay, yeah, I could buy, you know, Ben Affleck Daredevil. I don't know if I'd want it, but I could buy it.
For me, I don't have a Daredevil voice when I read the books. I don't have one. DC or Marvel, and the answer for me is yes. I don't have one or the other. If you pin me down, I would go DC, but I like both really. So, and a lot of independents as well. So to me, it just doesn't matter to me.
I think my more beloved characters are probably on the Marvel side, but I think DC is so much more fun and interesting to me because, like I say, I collect back issues, that the discovery is there. You know, when you start like looking at characters like Eclipso and discovering, you know, Wrightson and then later Alan Moore's Swamp Thing stuff, and you start discovering all of this stuff you ignored because you were such a Marvel fanboy, you know, at the age that I was. I think DC is infinitely more interesting, you know, going backwards, because I feel just like I just keep seeing so much cool stuff now where it's like, okay, that's amazing, that's incredible, you know, when it comes to DC books. So I definitely don't
just use 2 adjectives from big Marvel. Amazing.
Say what you. I don't know that I understand.
Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk. I just thought that was funny.
I don't know that I understand what you mean, Billy.
What do you mean? What I mean? Like, it's because I'm seeing. Okay, are you being serious or are you being facetious right now?
No. I laughed because you said, "What do you mean? What do I mean?" So it was just.
You mean? What do I mean?
I mean, in all seriousness, it's just like, it's to me just going back and just flipping through a stack of DCs. You're seeing stuff that you never paid attention to before, and you're looking at it with a new lens. It's really cool.
As far as the voices go, is that what you're talking about?
No. Just in general, just DC versus Marvel.
Yeah. I'm with you. Sorry, I was still on a different track. I didn't realize. Yeah, I'm with you. I was on a different track still. Apparently, I'm on a delay in here as well as on the screen.
I'm gonna tell you guys one character that I don't think will ever get replaced, and the guy that's doing him now is actually freaking great. It's Mark. What's the guy that does the Hulk? Mark Ruffalo.
Buffalo?
He's great. He's great as David Banner, dude. But he will never replace Bigsby. You know, the original from the show. That guy was David Banner to me, man. Music, maybe it's the music ingrained. You know, the ending.
I was gonna mention that him walking away and you got that sad music playing.
He'll be David Banner until the day I die. For me, you know?
And I tell you,
Yeah, I'm with that.
Just the fact that you can't say Incredible Hulk without me hearing that do 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 in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That should tell you right there what the Bixby Ferrigno era of Hulk meant.
Dude, Friday nights at 8, I was glued to the channel, dude, to the TV. That was must-watch TV every week, man.
Yep.
One of the most frightening things to me, because of the age I was at, was that last frame of the intro that had like the split face.
Yeah.
Bixby Ferrigno, and every time I think I watch that scene like this, you know, just kind of staring through my eye, staring through my hand.
Such great stuff, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, when I read a comic, a Hulk comic, and there's a scream, it is Lou Ferrigno. There would be nothing better than that.
No, it will never be topped.
Oh,
look at that.
Yeah.
Every time I have to flex on somebody, I definitely try for the flex.
And when he throws out the shirt, he always used to get the shirt, and it was like, oh, it's so good. It was so good.
Gosh, yeah.
Oh, did you have was that a troll?
Oh yeah,
one of those spam bots things. Yeah. I saw it just very quickly.
Yeah, I meant to hit the delete because he put like 4 quick messages, and before I hit block, it went up, so I accidentally hit it where it showed up on the screen. I didn't want to show up on the screen.
They do that. They you already know they hit you with like 4, 5, 6 of them in a row really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, and just as you talk about the voices, the music is equally as applicable. Just like you're going with the Hulk. When DC brought back Superman and they did not include what we all know as the Christopher Reeve Superman music, that messed it up. That totally messed it up. If you want to reintroduce Superman, and Henry Cavill's a fabulous Superman. He's a fantastic Superman. But not putting the music that we all know as Superman's theme song was disastrous.
Yeah, it's a disservice, right? It's a disservice to the character, to what came before. I'm in agreement, dude. That's
100%. Yep.
It would be like getting the Raiders of the Lost Ark, or even Star Wars. Just imagine if you have that trumpet blast at the beginning of the Star Wars crawl in front of all 9 of those movies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Star Wars is one whole opera. I mean, the whole thing has got music underlying through the entire movies. I mean, it's brilliantly done.
Yes.
Well, God, if we're talking, let me not. I went down this rabbit hole last night. I started watching this kind of a prop show on Disney Plus, and it's kind of like a little docu-series about a guy that digs out all these old props from movies, and of course all the movies. One was Mary Poppins, and it was like Prop Hunter, or but anyway, I was watching this, and they got to the Nightmare Before Christmas thing, and then I saw Danny Elfman. And in my mind, Danny Elfman was this John Williams virtuoso. I knew very, very. I love Danny Elfman's work. It's Batman '89. It's Good Will Hunting. It's all of these fantastic movies and TV shows. The Simpsons. That's Danny Elfman. He was the lead singer and songwriter of Oingo Boingo, and
Oingo Boingo. Yeah,
that's
where he started. Yeah,
right. It's a dead man's party.
Blown. You know what I'm saying? And because it's like I saw him and he started singing like Jack Skellington's voice. And I'm like, that I was expecting, like I say, this John Williams, baton holder. You know,
No,
just
no.
the stylings of the music. Dude, that dude, I'm even more just like infatuated with, like learning more about Elfman. I mean, come on, the Spider-Man movie series, the Maguire stuff, that was Danny Elfman. Anything Tim Burton has touched, you know,
Yeah.
Elfman more likely had something to do with. So I don't
Yep.
think there's anybody that's inspired comic book cinema more than Danny Elfman right now.
Isn't he married to somebody famous too? I think
It's a Fonda, Bridget Fonda.
Is it?
I believe it is Bridget Fonda, man. And she kind of like stepped away from the movies and everything. She was hot. I love
Just
Bridget
walked
Fonda.
away. She walked away completely.
She was
But,
I was wondering what happened to her. I remember her back in the 90s. She was in a lot of stuff. Then
my
one
first
day,
exposure was the Singles movie. You know,
Oh,
because
Singles, yeah, man, with Pearl
that
Jam.
was-
With Pearl Jam.
yeah, man,
yeah,
the
Yeah.
grunge scene, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
soundtrack,
right.
absolute fire.
Yeah,
Like
she was
Scream
great.
Breeze.
She was in oh my God, what's this movie by? She was in I think one of her last movies was the Tarantino movie, Jackie Brown. That she was in it. That De Niro
right.
kind of takes her out. And
There
I don't
you
think
go.
she ever came back after that. I don't think she ever came back.
nice.
Yeah.
I don't remember that movie because I'm not a fan of Tarantino movies.
Oh, he's great, man. Those
There you
movies-
go. I said it out loud. I
That's
don't. I mean, there's a couple I'm okay with, but after that, it's just like I don't know. It's not my thing. It's not.
Oh no, he's great.
Kill Bill. I love those two movies.
I love those movies. I'm a big Tarantino fan.
Mhm.
We've been talking about, and especially what I've been saying is older characters and whatnot. And you brought up Linda Carter as Wonder Woman, and
Mhm.
you know what's great that I love? I love the intro music for the Wonder Woman now when she comes in, and they got that music when she's about to fight the Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
And it's just like that thunderous, and she starts kicking ass. I love that from now.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and you know what? It took me a second to think about it, and it popped right in my head.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. And the whole score started to play.
Yes, when
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
theme music is freaking dynamite.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've gotten that right. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that the movie industry has realized that this is attached to that, and we have an audio visual attachment to things.
Mhm.
And they probably learned that, you know, at least for us who are in our 40s to 50s,
Mhm.
they learned that for us with Star Wars and Indiana Jones and everything from the late 70s and all through the 80s. And they realized that we make that attachment and it works.
And we soak it up, man. We just drink it up.
I mean, the 1980s. It's hard to think of a movie without a song. I mean, Huey Lewis in the News and Back to the Future, they go together.
Well, when you heard like Bob Saget died, didn't the theme of like Full House go through your head at one point?
Mhm.
Yep.
You know, in all honesty, it's like we do have this audio attachment to just music in general.
Yeah.
You know, and when you attach to a franchise like Batman or Spider-Man or even, you know, the X-Men theme song from the cartoon,
Mhm.
who doesn't know that when it starts playing? You know, and so yeah, we kind of attach ourselves to stuff like that, and I think it's really funny that maybe not only do people have voices going on in their head, maybe they got like a soundtrack running,
Yeah.
you know, while they're reading their favorite books.
That is a good point. I would have never thought about that, but that is a legitimate thing.
Definitely.
So this is going to be similar as far as the attachment goes, but it's not going to be on the exact same line. You know, not Mandalorian, Boba Fett is the series that's out right now. And so I was explaining to my boys, you know, when the Bantha was walking through, that Jim Henson was the creator of that guy. Well, who's Jim Henson?
Wow.
Yep.
So, which is okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Who's Jim Henson? That's okay. Well, let's go. Let's go into the world of Jim Henson. And you get to introduce, or I get to introduce to them. I've done it before, and they were young.
Mhm.
How Jim Henson is attached just as much as music is attached to things. So Jim Henson is attached to Star Wars, Sesame Street, The Muppet Show, so on and so on. You know, he's Yoda, he's Bert and Ernie, he's all of those characters. He's Fraggle Rock, right? And so, what's Fraggle Rock? And so now I have to say, all right, let's go learn what Fraggle Rock is. And so I did the same attachment that we're talking about with one guy, Jim Henson, and how big of a footprint he has.
And gone too soon, right? Definitely gone too soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And so they have, you know, I found on Disney Plus a 45-minute video on the life of Jim Henson. But they also have, and this is where I'm trying to make the connection. They also have a what was the musician for all the Star Wars? What's his name?
John Williams.
John Williams. They also have one for John Williams.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty happening. And I haven't watched it in a while, but just the fact that they have picked up on the fact that John Williams, Jim Henson, so on and so on and so on are so important that they deserve their own show and they deserve their own highlighting videos to let people know how this is attached to that.
Aristocrats.
Yeah, the Aristocrats.
Dirtiest joke ever.
I'm sorry, Bob Saget. Like I say, it's half baked. That scene, the scene in Half Baked.
Yeah.
He was at the rehab.
I did not remember him in Half Baked.
Oh my God, he was in Half Baked.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Wow, how do I not remember that?
Well, now you got something to look up when we're done.
I do have something to look up.
I smoked marijuana, and then the Saget lines that came after that. My God, it was not Danny Tanner. Is all I gotta say.
Oh, his stand up?
It's dirty.
It shocked me when I first saw it. I was like, that's not what is going on?
Watch yourself Half Baked and get to that scene, and you'll be like, okay, that I can't ever look at Bob Saget now without hearing about what he did for Oak.
What's this? Hang on, wait a second. Wait till it pops up.
Oh, good gosh.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think that, because this was actually the original topic of the show, but what do you guys think about there's so many Marvel, DC, and independent movies and TV series come out? Do you guys think it's getting oversaturated now? Because every time I turn around, it's always something else popping up. To me, it's getting to be too much right now. What do you guys think?
Do you think there's too many TV shows about comics? And like that, we back into the text.
I think personally, there is a lot right now. I think it's taken some of the specialness of it away.
Yeah.
Like if you look at how we're kind of connecting to Linda Carter and you know Lou Ferrigno and you know Tim Burton and Danny Elfman, Batman '89, and a lot of the stuff. Because every time something came along, it was special. You know, you knew special when you saw it. Right now, it's a formula that feels like it works. So they're throwing every dart they can to see what sticks.
Yeah. So
you get your Eternals, you get your DC stuff, you get all of this stuff, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because there is a phrase out there called "to each his own."
Yeah.
You know, so there might be a little something. You know, I've heard people have watched Eternals and they've absolutely loved it and what it did, and how it like kind of had this kind of complex feeling, versus the zaniness, and then you get the slapstick variety that you can find in Peacemaker. You know, so I think it is a cash cow that they are milking and milking hard. You know, but in all honesty, if the fanboys didn't exist for this product, they wouldn't be doing it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
I don't look. We didn't have anything for a freaking year.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna be 53. I can't get enough of this stuff. All right. bring it all out before I'm gone, dude. I want to enjoy this. We got Eternals, which I never would have imagined. And I like the movie. I don't think it was the greatest movie, but I don't think it was bad. I enjoyed it. I want to watch it again. The TV shows, I'm enjoying them for the most part. You know, I'm not this big critiquer. You know, they're comic book movies, bro. They're not, you know, The Godfather. Enjoy it for what it is. If it doesn't follow the comic exactly, so what? You still got the comics, you know? Yep. Read the comics, stop watching the show. It doesn't matter. We're getting a Moon Knight show in a couple of months. I never would have thought we would ever see Moon Knight as a kid. Dude, when I was a kid,
right,
we had Captain America on a motorcycle with the shield in front, and it was and Spider-Man, and you know, with the fake going on. It was like to what we got now, dude. Enjoy it, man. I am. Don't, you know, these people, oh, but it's this and it doesn't follow the man, who cares, dude? Who cares? It's not the right costume. Are you kidding me? Some of these costumes in these comics, if they would put it in these movies, it would look freaking like they would look like clowns. So, you know, dude,
you're telling me you wouldn't want to see old school X-Men and those old school X-Men outfits compared to that black uniforms that they had?
Man,
this I'll agree with Daryl.
I'm okay with it because it just wouldn't look right, man. Yeah. You're trying to make it a little serious, you know. I'm okay with it.
I'm not even talking about if it's good or bad. I'm talking about it's just every time I turn around, okay, here's something else. Here's something else. Here's something else. And I'm going to give it a comparison to the early 2000s when mixed martial arts was really coming in. Dennis will get this one maybe. UFCs, they come out like once every 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
And now it's rarely a week that goes by, maybe 2 weeks when there's not another UFC, another TV UFC, something like that. And to me, it reached that point. It's like, I don't need to see it every single week.
But I need who's guilty of that? Your people, DC, or who's guilty of that? Disney's got it figured out.
I don't know, because I'm saying, I mean, I don't like some of that. It feels like there's always something on DC, always. On Marvel, always.
No,
to be honest with you, the DC ones, I haven't seen hardly any of them.
So I'll tell you the
part, but it's true.
I'll tell you the difference, at least for me. If you pay attention, Marvel puts out, or Disney, you know, right? Disney puts out a Star Wars thing, and then a couple of months later, there's a Marvel Comics thing, and then a couple of months later,
I don't even think it's months in between them though anymore. I feel like it's like right after the other.
Right, but they stagger them so that it's so that it's Marvel, and then it's Star Wars, and then it's Marvel, and then it's Star Wars, so that you get that stagger. DC has like 4 Superman right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Batman, Batgirl, Catwoman, this, Cat-Bat. They have crossovers. You don't have the same guy being Flash actively, and that's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. We should have one Flash. Yeah, we don't need 3 different guys being Flash. If they change character, if things aren't exactly canon, I'm okay with that. I totally am down with that. You have to make somebody a Gulf War veteran instead of a Vietnam veteran. That's understandable. Mm-hmm. But where DC doesn't get it right is exactly what you're talking about. They genuinely flood the airstream with way too many of the same thing at the same time.
Definitely. To your point, they got Peacemaker out now. They got Naomi out now. The CW probably I don't know about the CW, but I know they constantly have DC stuff. Mm-hmm. It's after DC's like one after the other. We had Hawkeye at the end of December, correct? That's when it ended. We're not getting nothing else until March, the end of March, right?
Right. 3 months later.
That's 3 months. You can't count Boba Fett. Boba Fett's not in that universe. This is Marvel.
But to me, it counts as a comic book movie because there's so much in comic book. I mean, TV series because it's in comic books. So to me, I count Star Wars as a comic book thing.
Well, and that's okay. Yeah. But it's its own world. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. Yeah. But you've got Star Wars friends that could care less about comics.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
you've got Marvel friends that could care less, or DC friends, we all do, that could care less about Star Wars or Star Trek.
I've got Marvel friends that could care less about the comic books. So
I don't think I've ever watched. I'm thinking about watching Peacemaker because I've heard good things about it. I haven't watched no DC shows. I haven't seen one, and yeah, I might be a Marvel fanboy, but I never watched the Netflix shows. I never watched Daredevil. I never watched The Punisher. I never watched. I never. Right? I never got into them, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. You know.
I mean, Daredevil and Punisher were phenomenal,
and that's what I've heard. I just
Iron Fist got it around. Pass on that one.
I've never gotten around to it. I just haven't.
Jones, also very good.
But was it a timing thing? Was it a timing thing that you didn't see him?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I just never got into him, and I've heard great things, and my kids have watched it and they loved it, and I just never sat my ass down to watch it. You know,
Daredevil is that good.
Doom Patrol is something else. That's crazy.
And the thing is, the guy that plays Daredevil, he was in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah,
and he was phenomenal in Boardwalk Empire. One of my favorite characters in that show. So I know the actor. I just never got around to watching it, man. It's on me.
Yeah, which is cool. So some people are like, "Hey, I only have Disney Plus. I'm not paying for Netflix," or vice versa.
Right. No, I have Netflix. I got it.
So Daredevil is absolutely worth it.
Yeah, I have to. I have to make it a point.
I mean, I think all of those Marvel shows that was on Netflix was good, except for Iron Fist. I think the rest of them were magnificent.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the equation. I think the TV shows, in my mind, are so much better because it presents, and that might be one thing that adds to this perception of market glut, is the fact that every week you've got an episode of Hawkeye coming out until it's done. You know, everything is they're starting to go back to more serialized storytelling. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I like about the TV series aspects, of Marvel's endeavors recently, is it does give me more of that comic book feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Look at if you look at movies, there hasn't been a movie that has come out that has felt comic book to me, with the exception of like James Gunn stuff. Like I think we discussed this a few episodes back, but like the new Squadron Supreme movie, man, that screamed comic book to me. I'm watching Starro. I mean, it's like watching. Yeah. It makes you smile the whole way through, and wow. Just like the absurdity, of stuff. Whether it's from the opening scene to the very last scene, and that's what I'm enjoying about like watching the TV series, and. I tell you, obviously people can like what they like, and I'm certainly, like Charlie Cox's portrayal of Daredevil, that really got me into that style of storytelling, mainly because nothing felt rushed, and the TV series tend to be able to play more to the comic book fans because it gives more time to make those explanations and stuff. It gives time to flesh out the character. And you don't give much room for your character for you to look at your favorite character and be like, they would never do that, when in essence they're only doing it in a movie because it saves time, or it's kind of harder to portray, or it's easier to do this or that or the other. So if there had to be a vote today, guys, this is our budget. Do you want movies or do you want TV shows? Me personally, I would lean for the TV shows because it does give me that weekly. It reminds me more of, it's not bingeable. You can wait and binge it or read the trade paperback, or you can watch the episodes one at a time as they come out and get that serialized story. So it feels more comic book to me, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
I agree with you, man.
I'm with you. That's a hard way to think.
And to go back the other direction, like Bryan Singer. Obviously, if you look at like comic book characters when they were being drawn, they were basically applying colors to nude bodies. Mm-hmm. That was the costuming style. We didn't want to draw this, drawing material and stuff like that. So the assumption was always spandex because it was the only material that would work like that. But if you look at everything Kirby did and everything all of these guys did, it was basically all we read as children was naked people brightly covered. You know, I mean, that's all it was. So obviously that's not going to translate very well. But when I hear a director make a statement like, well, real people would never walk around, you know, in brightly colored costumes, which was his explanation for the black costumes in X-Men, that turned me off to that movie. Mm-hmm. I saw it. I was first in line to see it. But like, it was such a massive disappointment, you know, just seeing black leather because it was more practical, you know, so we can't have it either way. We can't be like, well, it's just comic books. Then on the same token, expect this massive reality. You know, we have to be able to embrace the absurd. The absurd makes up look at Stan Lee's science. Go back and read the first 20 issues of Fantastic Four, and any scientist will just be like, oh my God, you know, about everything there. You know, the Hulk and gamma rays. Well, you know, let me show you this fried and gamma thing here right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have to embrace the absurd. And right now, more than ever, I mean, absolutely more than ever, with CGI and everything, we can get absurd. You know, you're looking at TV screens and stuff where the people have been long dead, and here they stand in front of another actor interacting with them.
Yeah.
You know, so to suggest that Thanos can't look like Thanos, or we can't get a Rhino that looks like, you know, the Rhino because we have to explain that it's just a machine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that is a level of absurdity based on, you know, I think we have a right to kind of expect something to be somewhat similar.
I think there has to be a certain mix, right? You can't go too. You got to be somewhere in the middle, right? To be honest to the costume, but you know, not the costume, right?
Love your source material.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In all honesty,
Definitely.
show respect and love to your source material.
Definitely.
And don't just dismiss it by being like, oh, real people wouldn't do that. Well, real people wouldn't shoot laser beams out of their eyes
Exactly.
either. You know, real people aren't running around, you know, with claws retracting from their forearms.
Or a big green guy's not running around, right?
Do you think that Batman Forever was a propagator of that mentality?
Not necessarily. I think, like, if you look at like Batman '89, the black was just easier to work with, and obviously, if you look at Batman now, the black, I miss blue and gray. You know, I miss the old school stuff, but you know, the move to black for Batman just seemed to kind of fit. You know, at that time, I think I think that was more of a let's freshen it up type thing, and audiences ate it up, and before you knew it, he's wearing black in the comic books.
Well, I guess I mean that Batman '89 was so colorful, and it was such a disaster of a movie, and certainly those
crap, dude. Batman '89 was everything that somebody my age wanted in a comic movie. That was the first movie I ever went to where there was a standing ovation at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah,
Batman '89 was far from a disaster. Batman.
I meant
Batman '89 right now. What Tim Burton was able to pull off.
I meant Batman Forever. That's what I meant was a disaster. So, you know, because Batman Forever was just way too colorful and way too over the top.
It was too comic booky.
Right. So my question is, do we think that maybe that one movie, which was a big turnoff for a lot of people because of that excessive vomiting of colors and ridiculousness, wasn't a reason for him to make that statement?
Well, what we've got going on there is because Batman started with Tim Burton, and it was a very dark and very Burton stylized thing when you look at the first and second. And then you get into Forever, you know, where, you know, like when Schumacher stepped in and took over, it was a different vision entirely. And I mean, we're also talking about people that love Adam West. And we love these. Sometimes you just can't find a place to dispose of a bomb. You know, how ridiculous is that? And we love it. So if we moved from this style into the next style, I think it would have been perfectly fine. You know, the movie may have still been a dud, but we know what we liked, and what we were seeing is not what we liked, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. And I think that, and I hate to say it, but Marvel or Disney is the only one that gets it right. I think that with one or two of the Batman movies, as far as with the usage of color, maybe more specific, usage of grandiose color in their costumes, because the same costume in Daredevil with Ben Affleck and what's her name, where she was Elektra, just didn't stick the same way. Daredevil's bright red costume, and it wasn't bright red, but his red costume and Elektra's red sticks. Now, I don't know what it is that they do differently, but I think whoever they have the costume designers, they just have something figured out.
They paid more honor to the character in the Netflix series than they did in the movie with their realistic leather. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Netflix series actually stayed truer to the character. And the same could be said for the Punisher. You know, now I love the Thomas Jane Punisher movie. I absolutely love that movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Really good.
You know, that kind of showed that the right mix of humor would work. And I'm such a lover of the character, and I might be a blasphemer in this. I didn't enjoy Blade because the dialogue to me was atrocious. You know, he makes the weapons, I use them.
Any of the
bravo. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I mean, everybody finds little things they look for, you know, that they find comfort in movies. You know, and some people love like the nonstop humor that you know. I didn't mind the Thor that Daryl absolutely hates. I didn't mind it at all. I thought it worked well. You know, but it really does. It's become so eye of a beholder right now, and I think fans are always just going to bitch about anything they want to, because, you know, fan is short for fanatic. Hello.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. That one squeaky wheel, you know, he's going to be the loudest no matter what you do. That's right.
I'm not that loud, man.
Only on Saturday nights, right, Daryl?
Only on Saturday nights. Sometimes Sunday nights too, on a different channel. Maybe next week on Wednesday night on a different channel.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like to me. I mean, to go back to the actual topic, it's just when I put DC, Marvel, and all the indie TV series and stuff that are out there, it's just like, man, it's so much. And it's, to me, it's so much that I don't have time to get to everything. I think that's my biggest problem.
But that's okay though. That's all right.
No, not if I want to get to everything.
I think that they all do something right and they all do something wrong.
Yeah.
My biggest beef with DC is twofold. One, it's not all connected the right way.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
You know, it should. That's what Marvel does right. It's all connected. Yeah. You know, when you watch this Marvel something, you're going to get an attachment to that, to this.
Yeah. But to speak to that, I don't mean to cut you off.
That's okay.
My problem in watching them, guys, I haven't watched the Infinity War because I missed 2 or 3 movies. You know, and along the line where it's like, I don't want to watch something and feel like I've missed something, you know, and I work 60 to 70 hours a week. Yeah. You work atrocious shifts yourself, you know, it's like, I don't have time to devote myself to watching this and this and this, but make sure you've also watched WandaVision, and then make sure Hawkeye comes in here. And then make sure you stay for the end credits of this, because it's really important, because it's going to point you this way. I don't have time to try to digest everything to make sense of one thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like a Marvel event with all the different tie-ins, right? It's Secret Wars with all the tie-ins. You got to get X-Men 1.
Well,
you got to get X-Men 2.
It speaks to old school comics. You're reading the comic and it says, go back to like Incredible Hulk 27. Because you missed because this goes back to that type of thing, and it's really true.
But I think that you can still watch. Like, you don't have to watch the Netflix shows to to comprehend what's going on with Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet, and things like that. At least in the movie.
I think what happens in WandaVision is going to be extremely important. With
I agree. But you yourself said that you would much rather have them in show format rather than going to see them in movie. And show format, I really like show format a lot.
Me too.
A lot. But I also think that Marvel has gotten all their shows proper. They've done them right. Because it gets stretched out. It's no longer a 2-hour movie. It's now a 6-hour movie, which is what we want. And it's done on a weekly basis, so our children are
comprehending. There's a bunch of those that I haven't made it past episode 2 of, so there you go.
Right? Our children are learning what it was like for us when we had to get home on a Friday night, like you were talking about.
Yep.
You missed it. Guess what? You missed it.
You're done, dude. You had to wait until the summer when they did the reruns, right?
Yes.
And then you had to be lucky enough to catch the one you missed,
Yep.
Yeah. Once you missed it, it was gone.
It was gone.
Unless you were awesome enough to have a VCR with a timer on it.
That was a little bit later.
That was a little bit later.
Give me that round. Give me that round thing that you were.
Oh man, the good old days.
Yeah.
Days.
Yeah. I'll make you guys feel. I'll make you all feel old here in just a second.
In all honesty, is the market getting saturated? I think there are a lot of hands dipping into the pot. Is it a great time to be a comic guy?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Definitely.
I mean, if you want product, you've got product. Mm-hmm. There are toys, there are shirts, there's everything under the sun that you could possibly want. Mm-hmm. Thanks to movies. Let's call it what it is. This isn't comic books, that is making people go out weekly doing this. This is the movies, and this is the exposure that the movies have given to the characters that we love. That is making all of this happen right now. I think people kind of need to call it for what it is. Like me, I could give two craps. The MCU could be like, you know what, we're done after this year. Thank you, and I would say thank you very much for everything you've given us. It is more than we ever deserved as fans.
Yeah, I agree.
But at the same time, I don't need it. I need my comics to keep going. You know what I'm saying? I need the next generation to keep up. And I like to think that this whole medium is in good hands. And the movies have kind of jump started maybe that interest that might keep that going.
Dude. Before, when I was a kid, it was almost, you didn't talk to all of your friends about comics. There was a certain group of friends you had, right? Right? Yeah. Now, dude, I'm going to be 53 and I'm wearing a goddamn Thanos shirt. If I saw my dad when he was 53 wearing a Thanos shirt, I was like, what is wrong with you, bro? Grow up. And you know what?
Your ass kicked, man.
I don't have to grow up.
Palea, look behind you. Look behind me. Look behind Daryl. We have rooms in our house.
Would you ever have imagined that at 12 years old? I come in here, and this is like my oasis, man. I come in here, and sometimes I don't even put on the computer. I'm not even reading. I just sit here, and I just start looking, and I'm like, bro, I can't believe this.
That's it. And before, it would have been like, hidden under the bed like a porn bag.
Exactly.
Dude,
hey, you would meet a girl. How long did it take for you to tell her, hey, I'm into comic books? What, a year?
Wait, you actually
a year and a half?
My mom in the late 80s, early 90s would not take me to a comic shop because of her perception of what a man that collects comics was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
just a couple years ago, my sister-in-law, she's like, you need to stop with the comics. You're never going to find a girlfriend. Like, these are better.
Well,
I'm like, and also, if you go to them, there's a lot of women at these shows too.
There are.
There are, but honestly, guys, It's damn funny when you see a couple of us. I'm not gonna say us here in this room, but sometimes you get a woman, and it's like a girl that likes comic books, dude. That's like a freaking unicorn, and we don't know what to do, dude. It's crazy.
I feel bad for women in comics because every guy there feels like they got to hold their hand and say, "Look, this is what's no." And there's women in the YouTube community. They know so much more than I'll even think about knowing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, it's amazing, and I love it.
Well, so everything was married together. At first it was just comics, and it was just trains, and just Legos, and just whatever the it's Yu-Gi-Oh is the current term, but we called it Japanimation for a while, or Japanime, and then you can't use that. Somewhere along the way that all got married together into one thing.
Yeah.
And so it kind of made
Logan Paul calls it Pokemon.
Pokemon, right? Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Logan Paul with his $3.5 million.
Yeah, not really. And my kids are 8 and 11, and they love Pokemon.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm sorry. 1 in 4.
Now, I remember like a couple of my friends that I trained martial arts with back in the early 2000s, they love that stuff, the anime and stuff. I can't get into it. And I've tried. And I'm just like, more power to you, man.
Exactly.
More power to you.
You know how
run with it.
You know how I look at it when somebody's like into anime, or I'm more a Marvel and independent. When I see people into DC, when I see people into this, dude, go for it, dude. That just leaves more of what I want for me, a better chance. Because if everybody was into what I wanted, there wouldn't be any. Dude, you collect pops, bro. Collect all the pops you want. You want, dude.
Yeah. I'm not.
There's enough to go around for everybody, and it's all good, man. It's all good.
Somebody realized that they can make a lot of money selling all of it, whether it's Pokemon or comics or pops or cards. So be it. And then you get into a shop, you get into a store, and you see your buddy. What are you doing here? Oh, I do this. Oh, I do that. And just like you said, there was a stigma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of my friends, and I'm sure we're all the same way, most of your friends give you a hard time until you say, yeah, and I sold that $1 book for $1,000 the other day.
Yeah.
How much did you have to go work and break your back to make $1,000?
Yeah.
So
I got a buddy.
Go ahead. Sorry, Ali. Go ahead.
It's quick. I got a buddy that we hang out with, and he comes in. He comes over. We do like nights at somebody's house, right? The couples and all that. So when he comes here, he's like, he comes in here. He's like, dude, I would sell this so fast. I can't believe you got this stuff, man. Why? And I'm like, dude, it's a passion, and that's what it is. We're all passionate about this. We sometimes, like you said, you work 60 hours, 70 hours. You might be at work and you're thinking about comics, bro.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? That makes your 60 hours or whatever go by that much better.
Yep.
Because you're just thinking about what you love. Hey, this is a means to an end. I'm working, I'm putting this in, but I'm thinking about a book that I might get, putting in these hours. And that makes that more worth it as well. It's a passion, dude. It's what we love, and we've loved it forever.
4 times a day I've been on eBay just thumbing. That's a topic for later, though. eBay prices, my God. But anyway, I was on the eBay just thumbing, going, okay, do I want this? Nah.
Yeah.
Do I want this? Nah. And I spend 10, 15 minutes of time just kind of browsing, Like, now, granted, I would much rather spend money with a vendor at a show or LCF, but sometimes you got the itch to buy something. And that's one thing, again, that I love is there's just, I was just looking for that one thing that caught my eye. And
that's why I bought these last week from Andy.
Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome.
So I can't go to I'm still not allowed by my doctors to go to conventions and stuff. Andy's got books. I can buy them from him.
That's it. And, like my villain right now, the one that I seem to be really kind of collecting right now, Dr. Doom.
Nice.
Yeah.
then
Love Doom covers.
Kang is the new flavor, but Doctor Doom is, he's an OG, man.
He's money, bro. He's money.
You think he's going to pop up at the same time or as Kang? Because they don't just introduce one bad guy. Or do you think they're going to save Doom for after Kang?
It's hard to tell. I mean, you look at it right now, the way things are going with bad guys, is everybody got their little mini guy. You got your end level, end boss for the level, which is what these guys, they all face it, in their respective shows or movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got your end boss, your one above all. The last time was Thanos, obviously. Mm-hmm. And now Kang is the one. I don't think have Doom and Kang at the same time.
No.
But if you look at the theme between these two guys, one, had the ability to alter the universe, and the other one has the ability to alter the universe, and through time travel and everything. You look at like the scale of those two guys that is such like universe class threats. Doom, as awesome as Doom is, he's never been that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of do that.
I guess last year, 2 years ago, Doom had a 1 through 6. Is that what it was? Dr. Doom 1 through 6? Maybe it was a year ago. And one of those issues is Doom and Kang shaking hands.
Awesome.
Say that again.
I said it's possible he could show up, but I mean, I wouldn't put anything past Marvel.
Yeah.
If they do that, that book right there will blow up.
I'm hoping it's separate myself.
Yeah,
Doom to me is one of my favorite villainous characters, and I hope they just give him something just for him. But
yeah, we had Kang, and Kang's not well known to everybody,
Yeah,
as many. But just think about right now with Hawkeye, when they introduced Kingpin, that was a big freaking deal, right? When they brought him from the Netflix, and that was, I was super excited. Can you imagine when they bring in Doom and they do him right? Because that's the thing, they brought Doom, but if they do him right, and odds are they are right, that's gonna be massive, bro.
Yeah.
Going to be massive.
I think
that points at another thing. What you just said there, Halea, is like of the fact that Vincent D'Onofrio is the one that showed up is Kingpin, and we look at like Venom, and you look at like how Carnage is settled down. It's like we got Venom and we got Carnage, but because it wasn't linked to the MCU, it doesn't feel like we got Venom or feel like we got Carnage.
Yeah.
The only Spider-Man feels like Spider-Man right now is because Sonny learned how to play ball,
right.
And incorporate the Spider-Man mythos into this. And I worry that the same thing, another character that I truly love, I've been stoked about the possibility of the Morbius movie, which has been delayed again.
Again.
But is Morbius going to feel like a side thing, kind of like Venom and those two movies there? Or is it going to actually tie in? And the way they've actually tied the MCU into the Netflix series, again, that's just brilliant, what they did with the Hawkeye.
And I've never seen those, and I was freaking excited that it was the same actor, I was super excited. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. And that goes back to, my point is they keep the same guy, and they keep everything connected, and you know what you're getting. Just like with fast food, I know that I'm going to get the same Chick-fil-A in Virginia that I'm going to get in Hawaii, that I'm going to get in Texas. There is a reason for that. And you can't have 3 Supermans and 4 Supermans, 6 Batmans. They're all different. You just can't do it.
I don't know why they haven't figured that out. I mean, I guess they're just trying to not be like Marvel and just have their own little things. I'm like, that's just ridiculous.
It is, dude. You know what it boils down to? I think you brought it up. It's the guys that are running the MCU are fans, man, and they respect the medium, and they want to put out something that's honest to the comics, and true to the comics, to the best of their abilities. And I don't think DC has that.
I really thought when Jeff Johns started taking over, I really thought he's going to get things going the right direction, and I don't see it.
Look at the Iron Man movie. The fact that we got like the gray, funky armor before the high tech, and every fanboy, a boring character in my mind. It was a combination of Downey and everything. I mean, face it, the only Iron Man books that I ever really read was like Armor Wars, because that was pretty exciting at the time. But if you look like just how that movie paid service and honored the source material from the original.
Yes.
That's all we as fans ask for. Is we understand you can't do everything, but
it close
for the material.
Yeah.
Just be close. And I would like to, did you watch Doom Patrol?
I have not.
I watched the first season. I have not started the second, and then there's the third one.
Doom Patrol is great because it's different.
It is very different.
And I can watch that because I have access to it. Have you watched Titans?
No. Titans is phenomenal.
Titans looks awesome, but I can't access it. And then there's, what's the other one? They've got another one on the Paramount Network, and then they've got another one on the CW.
I don't have Paramount. I don't watch the CW stuff.
Right. So if we're talking about saturation, at least with Marvel, I can get it all in two places, and I don't need to spend $1 bazillion a month. I would like to watch Titans, but I can't because that's a service I don't have. But I can watch Doom Patrol because it's on a service I do have. Mm-hmm. Maybe DC's premise is that if we, use the 12-gauge shotgun approach and splatter it everywhere, we hit something.
Which state? What is it on that you don't have for Titans? It's on HBO Max.
Is it HBO Max? Yeah, I don't have HBO Max.
Okay, Doom Patrol's on HBO Max.
Doom Patrol's on HBO Max?
It wasn't.
It was on last time I looked.
Well, maybe they've moved it over there, but the first 2 seasons that I watched, it was
the first 2 seasons were on the DC Universe.
Right.
Right, and so was Doom Patrol. Then I thought they moved everything over to HBO Max.
Well, yeah, so maybe they've moved it over to narrow that window a little bit, but I was able to watch the first 2 seasons of Doom Patrol.
Yeah, I got rid of DCU. I mean, because they took all their content. I think they just kept the comic books, didn't they, on DCU?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I mean, that last I heard they were going to make that like Marvel has their comic book thing, they have their comic book thing. And then there's the movie and TV brought over to HBO Max.
And that may be true, but I was able to access Doom Patrol.
Yeah. Right.
I can't access all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm not paying for 6 different streaming services.
Oh, come on, man. No, I get it. Because like there's stuff on Paramount. I was like, I would like to get it, but like I'm not paying for another one.
Yeah, I'm not getting
Showtime. I want to watch the new Dexter. I'm like, I'm not buying another service.
And what's on Hulu?
Hulu has some good stuff, man.
Hulu, I watched Why the Last Man. I never read the books. I thought it was good. But Billy tells me if you've read the books, you probably hate it.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Why the Last Man show, Billy?
No, because I've heard so much bad. It's not one of those shows that I feel.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, and I might have access to that. I don't know. I think I have Hulu through my phone service.
I view it very much like I view Game of Thrones, Harry Potter book readers, all of this stuff. If you fanatically love something, don't watch the adaptation. And Why the Last Man was one of those books that I truly loved. Game of Thrones I was exposed to the show before the books, but there's so many, like the book people try to ruin the show, which I dearly loved for me because they were so into the books. You know, it's like because they weren't getting what they wanted out of the show, I shouldn't get it either. But I loved the show. You know, why the Last Man TV show should continue. I'm just not going to watch it because I loved the comic series that much.
And that's fair, man. That's fair.
I want to see it because I haven't read the books, but it made me want to read the books. Lock and Key. I have not read the books, but the series I thought was phenomenal.
Oh, did you watch Lock and Key? I didn't watch Lock and Key.
I have not seen it. I have not watched the second season yet, but the first season, I was like, this is great TV.
Yeah, I haven't watched that.
You know what I loved, and I never read it, was Sweet Tooth. I thought that was great.
I haven't watched Sweet Tooth. I need to watch that too.
I haven't watched that. But that, that kind of goes back into, is there too much? The answer is yes, because there's too much. I can't keep up. I pick and choose 3 and 4 things.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was actually the whole point that I was making to begin with.
Yeah. I know. And that just certainly highlights it even all the more.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's not just Marvel TV, but every time you look around, there's another independent getting optioned. And then out of those that are optioned, like a small percentage of those actually make it to movie or TV.
Yeah. What is Invincibles is a comic? I mean, is a cartoon?
It's an animated series, yeah.
They're an animated series, and I don't even know what streaming service they're on.
Amazon.
So there's another one, right?
That one's excellent. That one's excellent too.
Invincible was a comic series when it was coming out.
Yeah.
That's one of those well-deserved things, of course, again, from the comic mind of Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
Have stuff that translates, and he was able to take his Walking Dead money and throw it into this Invincible.
And just as we sit here and we say there's all these independents and there's way too much of this and there's way too much of that, dude, The Walking Dead crushed it. Mm-hmm. That show is not quite as good as the comics, but it's not far from it. Or it's certainly in the early seasons.
Yeah, definitely.
The early seasons, I was just engulfed in it.
Yeah.
I have not watched since like midway through season 9, I think, and they're going to be ending it at the end of season 11, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
I do want to go back and watch it from there, even though I kind of lost the passion at that point. But
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
No good thing can last forever. I think everything at some point in time. That might be because, guys, look at with a lot of people. Look at how long we've had movies go now, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And Marvel has played out, set up their plot line moving forward. And really, we need to be looking at this new generation of Marvel movies as being completely separate from the previous, which, some people aren't doing. They're kind of looking at one long thing. And maybe that's one thing, like you kind of take this next generation of stuff. And of course, there are plans moving along in the future, with everybody's speculating, Young Avengers, the entire Morales, the entire next generation. So there's stuff in the future. There's so much material for them to draw from, man. These movies could turn out for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
And they touch everything.
Look. I think it's a great time. You guys just touched on the indies. There's been some great. I mentioned Sweet Tooth, Umbrella Academy is great.
Yep.
The Old Guard movie I really enjoyed, and I've read
that. I thought was phenomenal. I love the series, and when I watched the show, I was like, "This is great."
For which one?
Old Guard.
Did you like Old Guard?
I love the Old Guard.
I thought it was great, man. I can't wait to see the new one. We're just in a really good time. Another one that I never read and I just saw it recently was Hit Monkey, and that was animated. I enjoyed the hell out of all of that. I thought that show was great. It was like Archer, I
need to go back to it because that's all I was seeing was Archer.
Archer, but I loved it. I thought it was I think we're just, dude. I think we are just in a really good time. And you know what? If you start watching something and it's not for you, dude, you're gonna find something else that's for you. It's just a really good time.
I get a lot of crap for that because I'll give something 2 episodes, and if I'm not really feeling it at that point, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go find something else.
But
I get people like, well, you need to watch the whole thing, or you're not going to. And I'm like, that's not me,
dude.
You may hook me about 2 episodes, and it's only 6 in the series. I'm probably not going to get hooked,
dude. Jupiter's Legacy. I saw the first episode, and that was an hour I can never get back.
I agree with that.
And I didn't go to season 2, episode 2. I just knew it wasn't for me. And that's the good part, you know, because you know what? Okay, that's not for me, but I found something else that was. Yeah. You know, you don't have to watch it all.
And I really tried with Jupiter's Legacy, and I wanted it to be like Golden Age comics are supposed to be, and just try to figure out why Golden Age books and book characters, because there's a Golden Age angel, but he's just not going to stick the same way. And, you know, the cat and the black cat and all these other Golden Age characters, and they just don't stick. And for some reason, neither did Jupiter's Legacy. It was the same way.
You know what everybody do? Everybody that wants to debate the comic movie topic and all of that, what they need to do, dig out Dick Tracy, Warren, and just dig it out and watch it and enjoy the fact in that movie that they used 4 primary colors only. If it was yellow, it was the same shade of yellow. If it was red, it was the same shade of red. And just watch that and just kind of appreciate it and look forward now to where, you know, you have worlds being torn in half and all of that. And you know, maybe you can kind of develop appreciation for where we've been and where we're going. And then look at something that was truly designed to be a visual comic book, like Dick Tracy was. You know, they did everything they could to recreate the comic book experience on screen.
Yeah,
and
that was when we didn't tell people we were that big into comics when that movie came out.
Right,
I loved that movie.
Yeah,
I've still never seen it because Madonna was in it.
Oh
my God, dude!
I need to find, because I looked forward to maybe a year ago, and it was not streaming anywhere.
It's good.
I need to find this movie.
It's good. Dude. The scene with Pacino as Mumbles.
Yeah, Big Boy did it.
Dude, that's classic, bro. Classic.
Here we are. You know, I repeat that. What is this? 30 years later, probably. It probably came out in '92, and I repeat that even now. Big Boy did it.
Classic.
Yes.
Classic. So good.
So I just had to throw that movie in because everybody's talking about what is or isn't a comic movie, and you know we don't give any love to Chester Gold and.
Oh yeah, that's a comic movie. Conan is a comic movie. Conan is the greatest comic movie of all time. Period.
Dude,
The Crow.
Second greatest.
I'm not disagreeing with you, bro. That first Conan is fire.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great movie back in the day. Yeah,
they nailed it.
Wait, was Grace Jones in the first one?
The second one,
because she scared the crap out of me back when I was a kid. I mean, I was like, that's the woman that would come in and beat the hell out of everybody.
She scared the shit out of me in Boomerang when she was in Boomerang.
Yep.
That's when she scared the shit out of me.
Yep.
When one of the Bond movies, right?
Yes.
She was also in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in. That was great that she was in Boomerang. That's funny that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Boomerang.
It was great. So, it was the Cologne and it was Savage or something. It was something like that.
Yes.
Okay, guys, we're approaching an hour and a half. We're going to go ahead and shut it down now. Just because that's a long time.
I got a show in half an hour, so yeah, I got to get going.
There you go. Okay, well, you know what? Promo time. Hi, Leia, what do you got coming up?
In half an hour, I'll be on Mastodon's channel, and we're going to be talking. It's the cover-to-cover show. We're going to be talking Machine Head by Deep Purple. We're going to be breaking down that album. And Wednesday, I got Slab Men with The D and Unruly Simeon, and we're going to be talking about CGC, what we're sending, and what we should or should not submit to CGC next.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that show. That's gonna be fun.
Should be fun.
Dennis, you got anything that you got coming up? Are there any shows, anything, or just you're
I
just hanging
have-
out with us when you can?
I just hang out when I can. I have swimming and soccer and swimming and jujitsu that I have to do and fire departments and all that stuff. And every once in a while, I'll send Billy a dirty message.
Yeah.
Hold on. Jiu-jitsu you have to do, dude. You love that. Don't even act like you have to.
Oh, it's a necessity.
Yeah.
It keeps reading.
I wish I could get back to kickboxing, but the old hip won't let me, and the kidney transplant they won't let me. So
You'll be all right.
yeah. Billy, what you got coming up? Any shows? Anything?
Next show I have Valentine's weekend. I want to say it's of course second weekend of February. The Big Lick Con at the Berglund Center here in Roanoke.
Oh, are you doing that? Oh, good.
LeVar Burton will be there. There will be a Power Ranger of some variety there. I believe that, of course, they will have several artists and stuff on site. It's a 2-day show.
Nice.
Setting up Bonafide Comics. Come find us. Me and Andy are setting up together at this one. As always, Big Lick puts on one hell of an entertainment show. And come out and see us. And tickets are available online. And all of that good jazz. You know, if you got any questions, just holler and I can provide you the information. But
I'm hoping my doctors allow me to do that by then. So I want to get back out there and hang out with you fellas.
I love Pokemon.
Did you hear what he said?
I did not.
Tell him again. Here, hold
I
on.
love Pokemon.
I love Pokemon.
Right? So 30 years later, kids still love Pokemon.
That's right.
that's it.
They'll talk about Pokemon the way we did Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Everyone in the chat, thank you guys for being here and adding to the show. That is always fun. You guys have an incredible day.